Hello, my name is Dr. Diwan S. Raja. Today I will discuss about the anatomy of the otic ganglion. The otic ganglion is a parasympathetic ganglion. A parasympathetic ganglion. The otic ganglion provides secretomotor innervation to the parotid gland. Okay, we got that. A parasympathetic ganglion that provides secretomotor innervation to the parotid gland. The parotid gland is the largest salivary gland, and otic ganglion is one of the 4 parasympathetic ganglion in the head and neck region. You know that other ganglions are the ciliary ganglion, the pterygopalatine ganglion, the submandibular ganglion, and this is the otic ganglion. This is reddish brown in color. Reddish brown in color, about 2 to 3 millimeter in size, located in the infratemporal region. Infratemporal region below the foramen oval. Okay, so we got the otic ganglion. It is located in the infratemporal region. So this is the infratemporal region here, and it is just below the foramen oval. This is the foramen oval, and through the foramen oval the mandibular nerve goes down, and also the lesser petrosal nerve goes down there. Okay, and we get the otic ganglion below the foramen oval. So what are the relationships of the otic ganglion? Okay, it is in the infratemporal fossa or region below the foramen oval. It is lateral to the tensor veli palatini muscle. Okay. It is lateral to the tensor veli palatini muscle, and this muscle protects the otic ganglion from the bony part of the pharyngotympanic tube. Okay. Otic ganglion is medial to the mandibular nerve. It is lightly adherent to the mandibular nerve. It is medial to the mandibular nerve. Okay, we got that. The auriculotemporal nerve the auriculotemporal nerve is posterior to the otic ganglion. Okay, and the otic ganglion surrounds the origin of the medial pterygoid muscle. Medial pterygoid muscle. Okay, we got that. It surrounds the origin of the medial pterygoid muscle. Then it is a parasympathetic ganglion. We always discuss the parasympathetic ganglion, its functional relationship, its topographical relationship. Topographically, it is related to the mandibular nerve. Functionally, it is related to the glossopharyngeal nerve. Okay, functionally it is related to the glossopharyngeal nerve. This is a parasympathetic ganglion, and the glossopharyngeal nerve, that is also called CN9. This provides the parasympathetic innervation to the otic ganglion, the preganglionic fiber going through the glossopharyngeal nerve. So it is functionally related to the glossopharyngeal nerve, and it is almost adherent to the mandibular nerve, just medial to that. That's why it is topographically related to the mandibular nerve. Okay, we got that. Now, if you make a big otic ganglion like that, what is ganglion? Collection of nerve cells outside the central nervous system. What is nucleus? Collection of nerve cells within the central nervous system. So here we have the preganglionic parasympathetic fiber, there is neuron here, and we get postganglionic parasympathetic fiber. Preganglionic parasympathetic fibers, nerve fibers. Okay. This is the postganglionic parasympathetic fibers. This is the synapse or synapse. One nerve and another nerve begins here. Here is the neuron, postganglionic neuron. This is the axon. This is the axon from the preganglionic neuron. So this is the parasympathetic. How about sympathetic? No synapse, no relay. This is postganglionic, ganglionic sympathetic fibers. Okay. Here synapses, here fibers, here it is. Okay. So this is postganglionic, this is postganglionic, this is postganglionic. There is no synapse, no relay. Here there is synapse. That's why the preganglionic relate to the postganglionic from here. We have also sensory. That is provided by the auriculotemporal nerve. There is a branch of the mandibular nerve. Okay. Then we have another group here, especially in otic ganglion, that is called somatomotor. Again, no synapse here. Somatomotor provided by nerve to the medial pterygoid. To the medial pterygoid. Okay, we got the otic ganglion, 4 type of fibers. Only the parasympathetic fiber, synapses, we have preganglionic, postganglionic, other fiber just go through it without any synapse. And most of the innervation is going to the parotid gland. Our target gland is the parotid gland. Parotid gland, that is a salivary gland, and this is the largest salivary gland. And most of the nerve going to the parotid gland through the auriculotemporal nerve. It carries sensory fibers, it carries postganglionic parasympathetic fiber, it carries postganglionic sympathetic fibers. Okay, we got the otic ganglion. Now we'll go to the flow chart. Flow chart of parasympathetic, flow chart of the sympathetic. Okay. Parasympathetic flow chart. Okay, it should come from the upper part of the medulla oblongata, from the inferior salivatory nucleus. So this is the medulla oblongata, this is the pons, this is the midbrain, this is the brain stem, okay, and this is the inferior salivatory nucleus. It is in the upper part of the medulla oblongata, close to the pons medulla oblongata junction. And from there, fiber will go to the glossopharyngeal nerve or ninth cranial nerve, glossopharyngeal nerve or ninth cranial nerve. So glossopharyngeal nerve comes out of the cranial cavity through the jugular foramen along with the 10th and 11th nerve. So the glossopharyngeal, vagus and accessory nerve, all three comes out of the cranial cavity through the jugular foramen. And glossopharyngeal nerve has 2 ganglion. One is superior ganglion, another is inferior ganglion. From the inferior ganglion, we get the nerve. What nerve? We get the tympanic nerve. Tympanic nerve enters the pittus part of temporal bone through the inferior tympanic canaliculi. It goes to the promontory in the middle ear cavity, okay, and forms the tympanic plexus of nerve. From tympanic plexus of nerves, we get the lesser petrosal nerve. We get the lesser petrosal nerve. This lesser petrosal nerve will go to the infratemporal region through the foramen ovum along with the mandibular nerve. Okay, and it will go to the otic ganglion. And in the otic ganglion, there should be a synapse because it is carrying preganglionic fiber. There will be synapse. The preganglionic nerve will end, postganglionic nerve will start. So there will be synapse here. Then it will be distributed through the auriculotemporal nerve, auriculotemporal nerve to the parotid gland, parotid gland, okay, parotid gland. Okay, we got the parasympathetic flowchart. Again, try. Inferior ciliary nucleus in the upper part of the medulla oblongata, glossopharyngeal nerve, the ninth cranial nerve. Then from the inferior ganglion of the glossopharyngeal nerve, tympanic nerve in the petrous part of temporal bone inside the middle ear cavity. Forms the tympanic plexus of nerve. From there we'll get the lesser petrosal nerve that all carry the preganglionic parasympathetic fiber to the otic ganglion. Here we have the postganglionic neuron. We'll get a synapse. We'll get synapses here, synapses inside the otic ganglion. So we get the postsynaptic nerve fibers from the otic ganglion that are distributed through the auriculotemporal nerve to the parotid gland. We got the parasympathetic flowchart. Now I'll go to the sympathetic flowchart. Okay, that should come from the spinal cord. We have the intermediolateral gray horn there. From spinal cord, go to the ventral nerve root, spinal nerve, white rami communicans, and it will go to the sympathetic chain of ganglion. Okay, we have sympathetic trunk with sympathetic chain of ganglion. Okay, we go there. It extends up to the coccyx, a multiple ganglion around 22. Sympathetic trunk has around 22 to 24 sympathetic ganglion. Okay, so suppose it is going there, it is T1 or T2 level of spinal cord. Okay, this is going to the lower part of the cervical sympathetic ganglion. It goes through the inferior cervical sympathetic ganglion, middle cervical sympathetic ganglion, superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. So this nerve from here to here is preganglionic. Of course, it is controlled by the hypothalamus, that is different tissue. Here is a preganglionic neuron. Here is a postganglionic neuron. This is the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. Superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. Okay. From the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion, the postganglionic fiber will follow the blood vessel. They will over the wall of the blood vessel, they will distribute to the external carotid artery, to the internal carotid artery. Suppose in otic ganglion, they will go through the external carotid artery, then to the maxillary artery, then they will go, the plexus will go to the middle meningeal artery. So here postganglionic fiber will go to the middle meningeal artery, sympathetic plexus. Okay, sympathetic nerve plexus. Okay, this nerve will go to the otic ganglion, They will distribute it through the auriculotemporal nerve. Then that will be innervate the parotid gland, and the sympathetic is vasoconstrictor, so they will produce thick saliva. So vasoconstrictor, and due to sympathetic stimulation in any region, they will produce thick saliva or concentrated saliva. Okay, like that, the parasympathetic stimulation will cause watery and profuse salivary secretion from the parotid gland due to parasympathetic stimulation. Due to sympathetic stimulation, the saliva amount will be decreased, it will be thick, it will be concentrated because of vasoconstriction. And parasympathetic, that is secretomotor, that will stimulate the acinar cells of the parotid gland to secrete much amount of the salivary secretion through the parotid ducts. Okay, we got that, the sympathetic flow chart, and sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay, we got that. Now we go to the sensory. Sensory innervation, pain, touch, temperature, that is carried by the, suppose pain, touch and temperature. This is carried by the auriculotemporal nerve. So auriculotemporal nerve contains sensory fibers, contains postganglionic parasympathetic fiber, contains postganglionic sympathetic fibers. Okay. Then we discuss the somatomotor. This is provided by the nerve to the medial pterygoid. Nerve to the medial pterygoid. That is a muscle of mastication. We have 4 muscles of mastication. We know that medial pterygoid, lateral pterygoid, temporalis, maxillary. So nerve to the medial pterygoid, that should a branch of the mandibular nerve, and it will provide innervation to the tensor belli palatini and tensor tympani muscles. Okay, so we have 3 muscles: medial pterygoid, tensor belli palatini, tensor tympani, through the nerve to the medial pterygoid. So we have gone through the otic ganglion, the sympathetic, parasympathetic, sensory, and somatomotor. Now, in the recent days, recent research observation found that the chordae tympani nerve provide some type of secretomotor innervation to the parotid gland. Okay. So clinical observation. reveals what? The parotid gland receives secretomotor innervation. The parotid gland receives secretomotor innervation through the chordotympani nerve, and chordotympani nerve is a branch of facial nerve. Okay, this is a clinical observation. We have one more point I'd like to add, that is the alternate test pathway. Alternate test pathway from the anterior two-thirds of the tongue. Alternate test pathway This is done by two branches from the otic ganglion. Okay, so branches from the otic ganglion to the chordotympani and nerve to the pterygoid okay, bypasses taste sensation through the middle ear cavity. Taste pathway through the middle ear cavity and send the test pathway to the facial ganglion directly. Pathway, you can say, and carry the test pathway to the facial ganglion directly. Okay, so we got that alternate test pathway through the chordotympani nerve and nerve to the pterygoid canal. From the otic ganglion, we may have that alternate pathway. There's some connection there. In human, it is found that. Okay, so we have gone through the otic ganglion. We have gone through otic ganglion. It is in the intertemporal region. So this is the foramen oval there, and it has the mandibular nerve, and this is the otic ganglion. This is foramen oval. This is the otic ganglion, and we have the auriculotemporal nerve that encircle the middle meningeal artery. This is the auriculotemporal nerve. Temporal nerve, and here we get middle meningeal artery middle meningeal artery. It is encircled by the auriculotemporal nerve. Then it will reunite here. Then auriculotemporal nerve will innervate the parotid gland. Here is the parotid gland. Okay, parotid gland. Okay, we got the otic ganglion, foramen ovale, the mandibular nerve. This is the mandibular nerve. Okay, we got that. So the middle meningeal artery, how it enters the cranial cavity? It enters the cranial cavity through the foramen spinosum. Okay, which nerve embarrass or encircle the middle meningeal artery? The auriculotemporal nerve. Auriculotemporal nerve carries postganglionic sympathetic fiber, postganglionic parasympathetic fiber. It carries sensory fibers. Okay, and that's all about the otic ganglion. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me. Please share the information with your friends, and please support my channel. Please subscribe me. Have a nice day. Bye.